Meet the starting lineups for the Nittany Lions.
Hi, I'm Joe Sunder, outside hitter for the Nittany Lions, and here's our starting lineup. First, we have at opposite, the inventor of the pump, Will Price. Second, at outside, Wolfman, Ryan Wolf. Third is me, Joe Sunder, at outside hitter. Next, middle blocker, the keeper of the treasure, Max Lipsitz. The other middle is Nick Turco, who can do a Rubik's Cube in under 30 seconds. At setter, Edgardo Goas, who has a strange obsession with Kobe Bryant. And last, libero is Dennis Del Valle, who prefers margarine over butter on his cornbread muffins. Our coach is Mark Pavlik, and he is the proud owner of a LeBron James backpack.
And there is the proud owner of the LeBron James backpack, Mark Pavlik, in his 16th season as the Penn State head coach. Now let's take a look at the Cardinal starting lineup.
Hi, my name is Garrett Werner, starting middle blocker for Stanford University, and here's our starting lineup. Starting at opposite hitter is Evan Romero, one of my best friends on the team. At outside hitter, we have Spencer McLaughlin, who's from Hawaii, which is pretty cool. The other outside hitter is Brad Lawson. He's got one of the prettiest singing voices you ever did hear, like a bird. Starting at the other middle blocker is Gus Ellis. We call him Goose Pups for no discernible reason. The other middle blocker is me. I'm from Milwaukee. Our starting setter is Kavika Soji. His little brother is our libero, Eric Soji. He's the best passer in the Western Hemisphere and can bench press over 350 pounds. Finally, we're coached by John Costi in his 4th year as head coach at Stanford.
There is John Costi, his 4th year as the head coach, 20th year here at Stanford, the 2010 MPSF Coach of the Year. How about the rules here in men's volleyball? Best 3 of 5 sets wins the match. Rally scoring. Sets 1 through 4 to 30 points. Sets 5 is to 15. All sets must be won by 2 points, and substitutions allowed 6. The score to 30 and the substitutions, those are 2 differences between the men's game and the women's game. Penn State will serve first in the white. Stanford is in black. Will Price will begin the 2010 Men's Volleyball Championship. Service error on the first point of the match. You can hear the crowd. How big of a factor can this be for Stanford?
I think it could be huge, especially when you have a player like Evan Romero, who 2 nights ago, the opposite for Stanford, was playing to all of his buddies in the crazy Star Wars outfits and everything else. So many of the teams at Stanford come to support each other, so a lot of other athletes here.
Penn State, they have made the way. The fans from Happy Valley State College, Pennsylvania. Edgardo Goas got that point on the dump, 1-1. Eric Soji try for the save, but a good serve right there.
Well, you got to really do your job well as a server to ace the best passer in the Western Hemisphere. And he did that. We haven't seen that so far this tournament.
And a miscommunication right there by Penn State allows the ball to drop. Point for the Cardinal.
That's not a good sign for Penn State. There should not be that kind of confusion at this point in the season. This is the last match that they can possibly play.
Will Price, that hits the antenna, and a point.
Usually teams have a rule as to who should set that broken play, that last one that dropped on Penn State's side. Clearly the rule broke down, but they can't have many plays like that against a strong Stanford team and expect to win this match.
Joe Sunder, a deep serve. The set for Lawson.
Slow Romero down. They blocked him once. He's hit out once already.
2-point lead for Penn State. Will Price still serving. The set this time for Garrett Warner, who puts it down.
And that's an easy put away. Watch this time, Shoji staying alive. He stays low and keeps balanced so that he can run forward if that serve trickles off the net.
Goas.
Oh, what an out.
Save. Romero was able to keep that one alive. Sunder, point for Penn State.
Sunder again hitting that off Watch this up by Evan Romero, just protecting himself. He had his hands in front of his face. It still came up, and here comes Sunder, just slightly off the center of the court. He's given Stanford some problems hitting that gap between blockers.
11-9. Penn State leading. Spencer McLaughlin gets the point for Stanford. You talked about Joe Sunder hitting off center against that block. How much of that is because they had to go against 7'2" Jack Radicek in the semifinals?
Well, they had a very different strategy then. They wanted to go to the outsides, to the sidelines, to avoid a big and make a big 7'2" player run laterally a lot. Now you see them going more in the middle of the court. They feel that Lipsitz has the advantage against the Stanford middles, although they neutralized him on that play.
Will Price, another point.
Watch Del Valle hitting the ground, and you'll notice he doesn't wear knee pads. That's not the way it was at the start of this season. His assistant coach, Jay Hasek, challenged him a little, said, you know, you're a really good player. Wow, what a hit by Lawson out of the back row. You're a really good player, but you're a little flashy. And you hit your knee, you go to the ground too much. So he ordered him to take the knee pads off, and that helped him stay more balanced, stay up, and ready to chase the ball down.
Sunder again.
And you'll notice also Sunder without the knee pads, Price without the knee pads. It's like they have all followed suit. Lipsitz the same way. Followed Del Valle's lead in changing their defensive style.
Edgardo Goas now to serve. His team up by 2. Kept alive. Sunder again. Free ball here for Penn State. Price.
That's a nice block by Lawson there.
McLaughlin from the back row. What a first set.
2 really good defensive plays by Stanford, and it finishes with Spencer McLaughlin. Watch him come right barreling down the middle. He's the 4th hitter in the lineup there. He gets that option, and he's wide open.
That set was behind Price, gets another chance.
You're exactly right. Both those sets were not particularly well located. Goas has been working a lot on getting more consistent with that location, especially to the outside. Romero getting his hands across the net, getting the touch, and Penn State too late to get there.
13-13, Gus Ellis serving. And a hit right in the middle for Nick Turco.
Expect Penn State. Turco, it took a long time for him to get his first kill 2 days ago in the semis, but expect Penn State to attack the middles of Stanford. You've got a lot of All-Americans on the outside for Stanford, but not in the middle.
Sunder into the net, ties it up at 14. A key to this match was Penn State having a good first set. So far they've had it. 14-14. Romero serve. Good pass. And the kill once again by Nick Turco.
And you'll see he's getting a lot of one-on-one situations. That's an easier situation for which Turco can get the ball to the ground.
Will Price, the senior, puts one down. Max Lipsitz from the middle puts it down easier. It's a 1-point lead for Penn State.
ESPNU, your home for college sports 24/7. The passion.
Through to the end zone, Cobb, touchdown!
The anticipation.
Holy cow, what a shot!
The excitement. Every season, every reason to watch all year long. Tomorrow night, Cal Poly and UC Irvine combine for 31 runs in a Big West slugfest. Then, catch up on all the college football news of the day.
NCAA TV and marketing rights fees. Where does the money go? Long answer, 96% of the revenue is used to fund 88 championships and support 1,055 member colleges and universities, who together provide $2 billion annually in financial aid to more than 400,000 student athletes so they can compete and learn. Short answer, we put our money where our mission is.
Did you know 82% of local consumers search online for products and services before they make a decision to purchase? If your business doesn't have an effective internet search engine marketing strategy, then you could be losing customers and not even know it. Via Media Online specializes in turning internet search into exclusive qualified calls and emails to your business from people actively looking for products and services you offer. Let us show you how. Contact Via Media Online to help your business be found. Call one of our experienced internet marketing consultants for more information.
Is the IRS ruining your life? Are IRS penalties and interest compounding daily? Stop the cycle now.
Hello, I'm John Harris, president of J.K. Harris & Company. Over the past decade, the tax team at J.K. Harris has successfully negotiated settlements for our clients, saving them millions of dollars. You too could qualify to significantly reduce your tax debt.
Call the tax team at J.K. Harris now for your free confidential tax settlement analysis. Call 1-800-378-1977.
1 point set here in the first set, 15-14 Penn State on top of Stanford. Penn State trying to win their second championship in the last 3 years. We go back to 2008. Penn State taking on Pepperdine. Matt Anderson, the most outstanding player for the Nittany Lions that year as they won the championship. A part of that championship team, Max Lipsitz, also Dennis DeValle. They defeat Pepperdine 3-1. 25th appearance in the NCAA championships, tied for first all-time with UCLA. Won the championship twice, 94 and 08. 2 and 3 in the national final. All 3 losses coming against the UCLA Bruins. Taking on yet another California school here in the championship. And Stanford, Nick Turco to serve. Lawson gets the point for Stanford. Brad Lawson, who had 14 kills in the win over Ohio State. First team All-American. The MPSF Player of the Year. An ace for Lawson and a save for Karchmarai.
Just 2 days ago in the semifinals, it was Lawson who broke that very close first set open against Cal State Northridge. I'm sorry, against Ohio State. He's looking to do it again here today, and he gets an ace.
Back-to-back aces.
Purists, of course, hate this kind of ace because this used to not be legal until this decade. The let serve rule permits it now. The ball trickles over the net. And you can see Goas, who has got to try and help here. Watch his feet slip right out from under him. Normally, he would be trying to help on that play.
Another strong serve by Lawson. Free ball here for Stanford. McLaughlin gets it blocked. A good block by Penn State. Point for the Nittany Lions.
Big break for Penn State, an utterly broken play, but Lipsitz makes up for it by getting his hands across the net and notching the stuff.
Will Price serve it. That's long. Evan Romero running out of the way.
It's a wise choice. I've seen guys who play in the back row but don't pass, typically the opposite position like Romero, forget to get out of the way of the ball, and then all of a sudden it's going out of bounds, hits him in the ankle or the knee, and easy point for the other team.
Substitution for Penn State, Jason Palacios in to serve. He replaces Garrett Warner. Good cross-court serve. Lipsitz gets it blocked. Will Price, point for Penn State.
Yeah, Palacios, that is such a difficult thing to do for players to come in cold 1 time per game, because that's all you're allowed in men's with the substitution, to come in and hit a hard jump serve. He hit it where he didn't want to. It went right in DeValle's lap, the best passer for Penn State.
Romero from the back row, DeValle with a dig. Sunder just puts it over.
Watch the dump.
The dump there by Kavika Shoji.
But DeValle was all over it.
Blocked out, point Penn State. 18-18 here in the first set. A look at Dave Shoji, the head women's volleyball coach at Hawaii. Of course, his 2 sons playing here for Stanford. Eric Shoji and the National Player of the Year, Kavika Shoji.
And it was Kavika who really kind of became the Pied Piper in the sense, took a big chance on coming here to play at Stanford when the program was really down. And he endured as a freshman 3 years ago, along with Evan Romero, that 3-25 season. But a number of players have come to play, including his brother Eric, including Brad Lawson, including Spencer McLaughlin, all from Hawaii, playing a pivotal role for this team. But it really started with the decision of Kavika Shoji to come play here at Stanford. And now 3 years later, they're hoping to go from worst to first in the nation.
You know you've done a good job as a dad when your two sons are back-to-back first-team All-Americans, and one of them is the National Player of the Year.
Yeah, not bad. 40 plus years of coaching. He knows a lot about the game.
Spencer McLaughlin, there's a dig by Lipsitz. And a point for Stanford.
And in fact, last spring, Coach Costi of Stanford asked Kavika Shoji and Spencer McLaughlin, you know, what do we have to do to get it to the next level? We want to win one of these things. And they both said, we think our dads could help this program. Of course, Coach Shoji, too busy with the UH women. But the other dad, Chris McLaughlin, has joined as a volunteer member of the coaching staff at Stanford, and they give him a lot of credit for helping the mental part of the Stanford game.
Brad Lawson, point for Stanford, up by 2 now, 21-19. There is Chris McLaughlin, the assistant coach, spent 37 years at Punahou High School in Hawaii, won 11 state volleyball championships, 3 state basketball championships, and his son is serving.
And I said how the players thought that would be a good idea. Costi had it on his notepad too. He said, huh, funny, I have the same thing written down. Will Price with his 5th kill there. Penn State wants to get him the ball a lot. He was very effective 2 days ago against Northridge.
21-20 here in set number 1. Best of 5. Edgardo Goas, the setter to serve. Brad Lawson, the big swing. You had talked about all the different Hawaiians on this team for Stanford. Spencer McLaughlin actually missed 4 matches this year with a shoulder injury. When he went out, it was like the cohesiveness of this group was lost. They lost 2 matches during that stretch.
Absolutely, and there are certain players who may not be the stars offensively or statistically, who really can be the glue of a team, and they feel like it is that when McLaughlin's on the court. Now they notch the block. Up by 3.
Timeout taken by Penn State. 23-20. Stanford on top of the Nittany Lions here in set number 1. Best of 5. This Stanford team, it has been worst to first. It was coined by that man, Al Rodriguez. We'll have his story when we come back.
If you want a close, clean shave, you need a razor blade and hot lather. If you want comfort and convenience, you need an electric shaver. But if you want close and convenient, you need the Microforce. Introducing the world's first micro shaver that combines the closeness of a blade with the convenience of an electric. Use it wet or dry for the closest and most comfortable shave ever. Micro technology makes it smaller than a credit card, but gives it twice the shaving surface of a conventional blade and twice the power of a bulky old electric. That means you get a closer, cleaner, more comfortable shave in half the time. Plus, it's completely waterproof, so you get the closeness of a wet shave with the convenience and comfort of an electric. Now, we don't suggest shaving underwater, but we did it to prove how well Microforce works and how smooth this shave is. Extremely compact, so it's easy to be perfectly groomed wherever you go. So if you're using a blade to get a close shave or an electric because they're convenient, now you can have the best of both worlds and get the best shave ever with Microforce, a $40 value for only $10. As an added bonus, you'll also receive our deluxe 10-piece grooming kit. It contains every grooming tool you need to always look your best. A $20 value, yours free. Just pay processing, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. If you don't agree Microforce gives you your best shave ever, simply return it for a full refund, but keep the grooming kit as our gift. That's right, you get the Microforce Wet and Dry Razor, our deluxe 10-piece grooming kit, and our 60-day best shave ever guarantee. An incredible $60 value, all for only $10. But you have to call now.
To order your Microforce for only $10 plus shipping and handling, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-979-8574. That's 1-800-979-8574. So don't delay. Call 1-800-979-8574 or you can visit us online at buymicroforce.com. Order now.
3-point lead for Stanford here in the first set over Penn State in the national championship match. You can see the patch on the side of the Stanford jerseys. It says Al. That is for their former assistant coach, Al Rodriguez, who passed away on March 19th after a long battle with terminal stomach cancer. Al Rodriguez was the inspiration for the phrase worst to first. He took these freshmen who are now seniors and he rode the van with them, and he said, when you guys are 3-25, you're going to go from worst to first. This is what the head coach, John Costi, said about Al Rodriguez.
For me, a mentor, best friend, it's just a colleague. He truly epitomizes what college athletics is all about. It was team first, teaching. It was about dedication to the youth. And that's what he really brought to this program. It's just the idea that these are not athletes, they're people.
And it was Al Rodriguez who actually gave Costi his start in coaching. Costi was in real estate. It wasn't going that well. Called around, got a hold of Rodriguez. He said, hey, I got a club that I'm running. Why don't you coach my 18s? And in addition, later, about a month or two later, he said, why don't you come to Stanford, help coach some camps. He met all the coaches, all the players, and he's been with the program 20 years now. Rodriguez even officiated at Costi's wedding ceremony.
24-20 as Stanford's coming alive here in the first set. You look at what they've done since 2007, 3-25, 17-11, 21-11, now 23-6. And the service error there by Jay Cannella, who did a good job coming in to serve for Stanford.
And by playing so well, Stanford earned the right to play the whole postseason on its home court here at Maples Pavilion. Won their league, won the league championship tournament and the automatic berth just last weekend, and now hosting the NCAA semis and finals.
Romero, Joe Sunder makes the pass.
You can see 5 guys all over that roll shot because Stanford reads the game so well.
Price again gets the point, a big point for Penn State. How about the defense, though, by Joe Sunder in the back row?
2 digs in that same play to keep it alive. Sunder is 6'7", not known for his defense, but doing a nice job of keeping it alive there so that his teammate, Will Price, could take the swing and terminate.
Romero, talk about terminate, crush the coconut.
Well, Penn State was talking about it. Romero is a fairly set tendency of going cross court. He does so here, goes right in the seam between those 2 blockers. That end blocker for Penn State might want to move that in a little bit.
Good serve by Romero. Good dig by DeValle. Point for Stanford as it went wide off the hand of Ryan Wolf. And a timeout taken by Penn State.
Penn State talks about how important he is as that second offensive hitter. That outside on the left.
Major League Baseball continues on ESPN both tomorrow and Monday night. First tomorrow night, Sunday Night Baseball. It's the Yankees take on the Red Sox from Fenway Park. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell at 8 Eastern. Then on Monday, it's the Yankees against the Tigers. That is ESPN's Monday Night Baseball presented by Sears Lawn and Garden at 7 Eastern. The Stanford Cardinal, R2, D2, C3PO, they're all in the house here trying to cheer on. Hey, there's even Yoda trying to cheer on the Stanford Cardinal, trying to win their first championship since 1997. And we flash back to that championship. Mike Lambert, he led the Stanford Cardinal to the win over UCLA. The famous play known as the block. Matt Verbringer on match point gets the block and sends Stanford into pandemonium.
And Furby, that was at 14-13 for Stanford's only championship. Stanford took 13 years to get back to this final, and there's Furbs texting away. Everybody's probably going to be sending him even more now that they see him on the screen. He came up here, as a number of Stanford players and alums did, to cheer them on. That's part of Costi's strategy, is to try to get alums more involved in the program. Wanted that group that struggled 3 years ago so much to realize it's not just about them. You've got a whole history here that you're upholding. And he felt like they needed to know what led to this opportunity.
Stanford played for the national championship in '89 and '92 before winning it in '97. Now playing again for it here in 2010. Playing it for Al Rodriguez, their former assistant coach who passed away on March 19th. An ace for Romero, who points right to the student section.
Penn State's weakest passer is probably Joe Sunder, number 17. That time Romero going right at him. See if he goes hard cross court back to try and again. No, he